Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. So again, just like usual, we have a faulty electronics device. This being a Philips DAB Radio 5000 series. So I bought this faulty. I think I paid around £10 for this. This one's been listed as no power. So I've got the original box, the original packaging, which is here. Although it's missing a few key items. So we're missing the user manual, we're missing the warranty leaflet, and we're also missing the power supply. But we can work around this anyway. The manual's online. I've got a power supply that I can hook up to this as well. So yeah, let's just display the overview of the device now, so you can see its features, and then we'll get back to looking at this. I have inserted these batteries already in here, these LR14 batteries, and you can also have the DC input here as well. So I have checked the DC input, that works as well, and the batteries are working. So it's been listed as no power, but I can actually see the device comes on. I'm not sure if you guys can pick this up on your screen, but the display itself is on, the LCD is on, however the backlight's not. So let's just go through the menu structure for the backlight. Got to put it into DAB mode and then hold down this. Right, and then we want to go down to, so that says kitchen timer. This is really hard to see with no backlight. Full scan, manual, nope, nope. No, sleep, clock, backlight. So backlight. So we've got timeout. That's on 180 seconds, so that should be fine. We've got on level. So the on level is set to high. So I'm guessing that should be the brightness is high when the backlight's on. And then we've got dim level. I'll put that low. So when it does dim, it's a low dim, I suppose. You can set to medium. Maybe we'll set to medium. Maybe medium's less dimmable than low. I'm not quite sure. The manual doesn't really give much information on the settings, but even with those settings enabled, we still have no backlight. I've also connected up my phone to this, so Bluetooth not connected. So let's just change that. That's connected now. Spring Water by Chill Coal. And you'll see we connect up to the Philips device there, and there is nothing coming out of it, no volume whatsoever. So at the face of it, we've got two faults. Backlight seems to not be working, and no sound. So there could be more faults, but we won't know until we dive deeper into this. So yeah, the only thing we can do really is get it apart. But if you just look at the device, it's still got the sticker from manufacturer. It looks brand new, can't see any marks or visible wear. It looks really good condition. So yeah, looks like it's come straight out of the factory with these faults. So I'm just going to turn it off. We'll take out these batteries as well, and get this apart. Okay, there we go. Oh, I appreciate that. At least they've left the cabling quite long, so you can actually work on this with it connected still, technically. Right, so that's the display cabling. Got the speaker cable. Let's just disconnect that. It's taken off the actual connector. It's a bit tight. Jesus. Let's put that back on. What should we start with here then? Oh, I see something already. Yes. Looks like a chip's failed and IC's failed. Yeah. Not good. Not sure what that is. If that's part... Well, actually, that's probably the amplifier chip, isn't it? It's next to the speaker, so I'm guessing that's the amplifier chip right there. Well, that's blown. That's probably why we've got no volume. So that's probably the cause of the first fault, or the second fault with the speaker not working, no sound. Display. What should we tackle first? Should we tackle the amplifier chip first? Should we get this under the microscope? Okay, annoyingly, my micro SD card is not working on my digital microscope, so I can't actually record any footage on there. So I'm just using my camera instead. So this is going to be proved to be a little bit more awkward to do this repair now and show you guys as well, but just bear with me. So here we have, which I believe is the amplifier chip, and if we go on the legs on the output side, so it's shorted on all legs, all the pins. And that's on both positive and negative points on for the speaker connector. So, not good at all. So let's get this chip off, see if the shorts on the pads are still there. If they are, then there's still something on this board that's causing the shorts. If not, then it's just the amplifier chip. But why the amplifier chip failed in the first place is another question, isn't it? I have seen these in the past with experience. These fail quite commonly anyway, these amplifier chips. But yeah, let's get this off. I can't even tell what this amplifier chip is either because of the hole in it. See, I've got two other amplifier chips as well that I can put onto the board, similar form factor. Whether or not they'll work is another question, but let's just get this amplifier chip off and go from there. Right, let's measure these pads and pins again. So let's make sure we've got no more shorts, hopefully. Obviously, there should be at least one pin going out to one of these anyway. So one pin should be connected, I imagine. One for each speaker wire. So yeah, left and right. Okay, that short's gone. So it looks like it's just the amplifier chip itself that's caused that short. I'm gonna propose we reflow or put some new solder on these pads, put one of the amplifier chips I've got, see if that works. If not, we use the other chip. Right folks, that seems to be in place. I've just done a quick check with the multimeter. We've got some melted plastic there. I really can't see what I'm doing, it's so far away with no microscope. It's yeah, horrible. So, not shorted. This one's connected, this one. Which I believe is right. I think these two middle ones is left and right speaker out. So it's just one pin on the amplifier chip going to that connector for the speaker, and then again on the other side. So let's get this back connected and see if that has done anything. Let's see if we can get some sound. So again, it's really hard to see the screen. Bluetooth not connected. Right, I can hear sound. Very quiet. Right, we've got sound, but it's just terrible. Let's put the other chip on, amplifier chip on, and see if that works. Again, I don't know what chip I need to put on because I can't make out the markings on this one, so yeah, not fun. Let's put the other one on and see if that makes any difference. Sorry, I lost some of the footage then because the SD card got full on the microscope, but as you can see the chip's in place. I've gone over it with the soldering iron as well to make sure the pads and legs are connected and cleaned it up, and yeah, just done a continuity check, make sure there's no bridging, and that's working fine. So yeah, no shorts on the chip, so let's get back together and see if the audio works. Right, boys and girls, sorry for any background noise, I'm not sure it's going to pick it up, but someone in the household decided to start hoovering whilst I'm doing a video. This is just unacceptable, but yeah, bear with me. Right, it's loosely back together, it is on obviously, we've still got the LCD problem here with the backlight. Let's just play some copyright free music. Let's do this, let's see if your chooches is kicked up to my phone. There we go. Let's turn that down. So volume's working. Quite loud that is actually. That's very loud actually for a single speaker. Okay, cool. So that is working. So the no sound was simply the amplifier chip. Why it had blown in the first place, that is the unknown. Obviously replacing the chip has not blown straight away, so maybe it's just internal fault with that chip, perhaps. I mean, I've seen it, I've done a few videos on these before, these radios and whatnot. Amplifier chips seem to be a point of failure. Yeah, it's working, that's great. Sound tick. LCD display backlight still not working, so we need to get access to that. So let's just power this off. Let's get this aerial down. Right. Let's take out the connector for the power. So as you can see, there is no screws for accessing the display. It's been glued in. Some sort of wood glue maybe for this MDF, maybe, but it's rock solid. This is going to be a bit of a git, I reckon, to get access to. So, and there's a screw here, not done up very tight. It's a bit of a gap between the screw head and the wood itself, so that needs tightening up as well. But yeah, we're going to have to get that off somehow. I mean, that's going to be a bit of a ball ache, to put it the least. But yeah, let me try and get access to this to get to the screen and go from there. Unless, what about if I take this whole front off instead and push the cable through? That might be easier. Let's try it. Let's get this front off and pull the cable through and see if we can access it this way. Right, I'm going to do that. Ideas are floating. Right, that is that out. That was so tight through this groove with this adhesive. Probably should have picked a bit more of that out before pulling that through. Hopefully I've not damaged the cable. If not, I think I've got another one. But yeah, I should be a little bit more cautious with that. Right guys, I've skipped ahead a little bit. We had a bit of a boo-boo. So as I've been pulling this through, I have damaged it. So this wasn't working. However, I had spare ones laying around, not the same length. This one I've had to cut two of the sort of traces off, I guess, to fit in the connector. This one doesn't work though. Found a smaller one, however, and look, the light is on. So that leads me to believe then that this was faulty in the first place. This obviously wasn't sending power for the LED. So regardless of me pulling that out and stretching it and damaging it even further, it was still foobarbed. So yeah, look, nice bright display now. The problem I've got though is this cable is so short, I'm not sure if I could be able to connect it up when it's all back together. So yeah, let's give it a go, I guess. Let's try and put it back together and with the short cable in and go from there. done. Here's the finished article. So the cable was just long enough to connect it. It was a bit tight, but yeah, happy days. Let's see if it's working on Bluetooth still, and then we'll go outside and get the DAB working. Great stuff, great stuff. Okay, cool, that is working. Screen's nice and bright. Let's get into another area and see if the DAB function works, the FM, the actual radio part of the device. Right, uno momento. Right, so we have a shaky cam here. Nice long aerial, absolutely massive. So I should be able to, you know, hopefully receive and send signals from here to the moon. Right. Ooh, drum roll.
Are in Gloucestershire. I'd buy one of those wire egg slides.
Oh yeah.
What the heck? Why? I could buy one now, as they're only a couple of quid, but it just feels a little bit excessive at the moment. That's right, Emma, because you know how to slice an egg already. Right, next. When you need it.
Right, awesome. All done. Right, cool. That is it. Closing statement. Yes, be careful with cables when you're taking apart. Luckily that cable is already foobarred and I have one spare. Other than that, it's working. On to the next video. Peace.